On occasion, I am late.
You are late all the time.
No, I know how long I'm going to go for, and then I let you be right. I allow you to be right. Right. Great noise in the background. A bowl, actually, could be interesting. Useful for running everything through. All right, 1 second.
Yeah. Oh, can you just leave it with us for a few minutes, and then we'll get into it, please.
Right. So, last week it's good to see Mark Spurgeon's on. Alaska, the nice part of the world. It's nice and chilly. Right temperature all the time. That's what I'm liking. Now, so we have had a very busy couple of weeks. I've been down at the farm and I wasn't doing a lot of editing, and I have taken up a little bit of editing on my phone, but I still haven't had a lot of time at all. Last Sunday, Jasmine and I drove down to Laverton to meet up with a crew who were filming the documentary series Eating the Invaders. So that's going to be coming out sometime next year, and I think it will be really interesting because I'm really curious about the other invasive species and how they're eating them, particularly the cane toad.
The cat fascinates me too.
Well, yeah, cat, but you've had a little bit of Chinese food here and there.
But yeah, the cane toad, it would be interesting, and the carp as well.
Yeah, the carp could be interesting. So
have a guess what our invasive species was that they came to us for.
Horses. Cats. We just went out the back and shot a few cats.
No.
No, our invasive species was... No, I'm not going to say that. That's politically incorrect. Yes, so camels. Now, last week we'd done a fair bit of flying when I got home on Thursday, Friday, somewhere around there, and we played around with the 360 cameras. So there is actually a whole load more to come out of that 360 video with Dad and I in the aircraft, and we found that the stuff in the savannah is actually pretty awesome. So we've got that. While we were flying around, we were actually looking for camels because we were petrified that we would not have any for the recording for the documentary. Fortunately, we found a mob, and everyone's seen that little video. It's about 40 seconds of Jasmine having seen them. So we found the camels, we were happy about that. Then when we had the film crew with us, we took out Jumbo, the real camel hunter, and we actually started to get overwhelmed a bit with camels. So we found a good sized mob to start on to make sure that we had great content for that, and to be able to have the time and go through and take some meat from those camels while there were some shenanigans occurring. And then on our way home, we found another group of camels that looked perfect for some B-roll footage, and then they also got put to sleep. And having had the amount of water, and I was trying to sort of take it a little bit easy on my elbow because I had surgery.
Whoa, she's flipped. Sorry, guys. We'll just get that back under control. It's the the Insta360 arm thing. It's all good and well, and then it just decides to
die
on us and have a fit, and then it flips the camera around.
Maybe we should get...
I put Dorothy, use Nintendo to was my Nintendo color.
Thank you. All right, love. See, we're just doing a video right now, okay? Good.
Maybe I should have got the DJI.
And the camera flipped. See?
No, we just use a different...
Method?
yeah, keep running the phone, but just change the stand thing.
Mommy, let's go on to you. Why is it doing this?
Oh, it's really having a bit of a moment.
Cadenza.
It's not happy.
It's like it's trying to link to my phone and it's hating life.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn it off auto mode. Just
So, yeah, turn it off auto and just leave it just doing.
well, I'm trying to turn it off auto mode. There we go.
What is your phone doing?
There
we go.
Now we're back.
We're back.
It's doing a dance.
Yeah, so we ended up getting inundated with camels.
And I, foolishly ran with, no, we're not going to see that many camels. I'm not going to take a whole lot of ammo with me. So I only went out with 40 rounds. Now, ladies, I'm sorry, but can you please go back to your play area?
Yeah, you did only go out with 40 rounds, but as people who have ever done it before, which may not be a lot of people,
Mom, can I please have an ammo cup?
when you are doing television filming, there's a lot of take and retake. So some of the rounds were...
We can't spoil the artistry of documentary and real film. That would ruin like David Attenborough for everyone.
Oh, would it just?
Yeah.
And yes, so part of it was what they wanted on film was seeing some camels and
Using them.
using them. And so we cut into
demonstrated
we demonstrated that. We cut into a couple of camels there. And this is stuff that while the TV stars were doing the on-camera
I reckon
filming
this
stuff,
is Tony's backstrap. This has got to be his backstrap.
Tim and I went around and collected meat to actually bring home.
No, Tony and I.
Did one.
Yeah.
And your dad and I did 4.
And I think he did an amazing job.
Yeah, your dad and I did do an amazing job.
Wandering around in the bush trying to light a fire to distract the star of the show, cutting a camel bull's testicles out to see if you could convince someone else to eat them, successfully convincing someone to eat camel testicles, instantly regretting it. He even turned around and said at the end of it, I would rather eat another paddy melon all the way than have another small piece of camel testicle.
Yeah.
So,
I thought I saw my headband, but I don't.
Over near Lyra on the table. So this is some of the meat from those camels. So this is now, we harvested it on Monday.
yep,
So this has been hanging in the cool room for
6 days.
6 days.
And
We have
this is not the normal part of meat that we would take.
no.
So
This
tell
is,
me, Jasmine, because you were there.
This is Tim and I killing time, really. So we took out the backstrap first, and then we went for the front shoulder muscles.
Mom, I can't put
Verity's room.
what she's looking for.
Yes, so this is from the front shoulder muscles. So this is, hang on a sec, sweetie, this is a big, this would probably be easily, I should weigh this actually, I'm curious to weigh this. So this is our nice big chunk of meat. I will get the kitchen scales that I've got here and we'll see how much that weighs because that's easily over 1 kilo.
And I'm going to get our anatomically correct model
I'll show you in a
to
second.
describe the position.
Oh, that's what you like to see. My scales are reading that it's an error, and I think it's because it is so. I think it's about 5 kilos. Let me try this again.
Well, maybe we'll have to cut it in half.
I reckon it's because it's not sitting in the bowl properly. Let's try it like this. Oh, come on, scales. Yeah, it's reading error once it gets to 5 kilos, so that's a lot of meat. All right.
Yes,
Yes.
the camel.
Our camel. Right.
My camel.
We took our back strap from under here and we've taken this chunk of meat here.
In front of the leg.
Yeah, the shoulder.
Yeah.
We've taken the shoulder, the front leg shoulder.
All right. Now, this is not an Australian camel because it's got the 2 humps. And And now I can actually say that I've eaten camel fat straight from the hump.
Oh, it was delicious.
It wasn't, no, like
Oh,
raw.
no, raw.
Wasn't bad, but then we also fried it up, which is not good for your heartburn if you
Because
suffer
it
from
tastes
that.
really good.
It tastes so good,
tastes really
like incredibly good. All right, thank you, Verity, for taking that
Yes, so
anatomically correct model away for
a
me.
couple of people are talking about what time of the day it is for them. For us, it is the 5th of May, Sunday, and it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And our lovely daughter is getting stuck into some biltong that I picked up on my way through Perth. Because I have gotten back from Sydney recently, as some of you would have seen. So we finished up filming on Tuesday, and I did a quick video on Tuesday afternoon. I drove to Laverton early on Wednesday, went to Kalgoorlie, and flew to Perth, then to Sydney for the Ubiquity World Conference, which was awesome. Pretty cool, and it's a real privilege to have been able to be one of the people presenting and sort of demonstrating the use of that technology and how it has been used out here to solve some of the issues and challenges that we face, including the feral camels. So, that was great. All right, girls.
And you got home last night?
I got home late last night and I did see camels on the way home. Girls, can you please go to your play area? Yep.
There you go. So we have a question from High as a Kite. Can you eat camel heart and have you tried it?
Yeah, you can eat camel heart. Yeah, camel heart, yes. Nothing wrong with it. Have I tried it? Haven't really dug that far into them. Dad, honestly, the Paco, our army truck with the crane, he was dying. Like, he was so keen to take that truck out to where we got the camels so that we could hang up the whole camel and dress the whole thing out. He was so keen for that, but unfortunately, it didn't fit into the shoot planning.
No, it didn't.
But I think he wants to use it again. He's keen.
Oh no, yeah. We want them closer to home though, so it's far more convenient for us.
Like the ones we've got at the end of the airstrip.
Like the ones we've got, exactly. Now I have a question for you though, Jack. Is camel heart good like camel's balls are?
It's probably going to be big, but also not going to have that same horrible flavour.
Well, because so the reason I asked this question is we did take out the camel's testicles and try them, and we went into that going, well, ram's testicles get called what, sweetbread?
No, lamb.
Oh, lamb's
There's
ones.
a difference between a lamb and a ram.
So lamb's ones, people find them quite sweet and delicious. Bull's ones have been eaten for years and years, so we figured a camel's probably not going to be too different, but boy was Tim wrong.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like the joke about the American going to Spain for the first time, seeing the bull fight, and he orders the special, which he can't, understand, and he got told, well, that's the loser, the bull. It's the testicles, and it's a meal made from the testicles, and you can enjoy that. He loved it. He fell in love with it, and he would come back each year. And then one year, when he got there and he ordered the same special, it came out and it was a lot smaller. And he said, "Well, what happened here? Why is it a lot smaller?" And the waiter said, "Sir, sometimes, not always, does the bull lose."
That's disgusting. No, we're not having more tablets, sweetie. We've had tablets for the last couple of hours.
I think it's her bribery. She wants to, she'll be here and really frustrating unless she gets her tablet.
Yeah, so we are hoping that this rump is good eating. Tim is suggesting cooking it as a roast, but I don't really know if I want to cook it as a roast. I think I would like to have it as steak. We pulled these off of... This one was off of a cow. I think the mob we came across, I'm trying to remember now, I think the mob we came across was something like... I think it's actually in their room. I think the mob that we came across was something like 5 bulls and 2 cows.
Yeah. No, so,
And this, I think, is the cow.
well, we got it also off the black cow that was on the Instagram feed, the
That's the
backstrap.
backstrap, yeah, but I think
Yeah.
that this rump... So I don't know if I want to eat it as a roast. I think I'd like to have it as steak.
Steak. Here, well, it's the shoulder.
We have tablets on Nintendo.
Just go play with the tablets for now, lovely. How long has it been hanging on the hook? 6 days.
Right, so, without further ado, and anyone and everyone who's got a lot of experience with biltong, please chime in and yell, don't do that, it'll make it taste horrible, because my standard has been to make my slices, but I've always done it as long sticks of biltong rather than the steak biltong where you cut it up nice and finely at the end. I kind of want to make it the more moist version. So we're going to take it out, but I've never done the whole like wash it with vinegar. But it has been hanging for a while. A little bit of a wash with vinegar. These didn't get quite as well bled as I,
Would have usually done.
yeah, because we're having to make sure that we waited for the action shot for film. So we're going to, on the back strap, strip out majority of the fat, take out any of the heavy sinew, and then I was going to give it a quick rub down with the brown vinegar, but I was going to try and cut these as about 2.5, almost like inch thick sort of strips of it, then roll it through, and I have not exactly, I'm not mixing my own spice. We've used a commercially purchased one, which is Safari, so it's a one from South Africa, and it is 45 grams per kilo of cut meat, so we could always spoon it out. It's got instructions here that say add some Worcester or vinegar at 50 grams to 100 grams.
Does it say or? Because someone has piped in and said, would washing it with vinegar start the cooking process? That's high as a kite again.
Well, what we're looking at is to just get it on the outside, almost like a...
Sealant.
Yeah, but for me, it's because it was quite a bloody dressing, and I thought the vinegar would give us a little bit of a wash through, whereas Worcester is quite a strong flavour.
It is, yeah. So look at the length of this.
Cover and refrigerate overnight.
Look at the length of this. That is long.
It is very long.
That is very long.
But my experience with the biltongs that I have made previously, I've generally gone for like a premixed spice. I love the coriander. But I've always added a little bit of chili to it, even just a bit of chili oil in the rub down to kind of just have that underlying flavour.
Right, start chopping.
Get chopping, you reckon? So, what else? What other interesting things have happened in the last week? I haven't been home, so... I went to a nice Japanese restaurant. That was really good. I did all these things without my wife. Not rubbing it in. It was just, it would have been really nice to be with you on this.
Yes, on your journey to Sydney. So if anyone else has any,
Tips and...
or even just
Questions,
questions, conversation points. Anything you want to throw out there where
you've got
our time now, our undivided attention.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully I'm not too divided. I don't want to accidentally slip and cut myself.
I add brown sugar to my marinade. That gives the outside of the biltong a sweet taste. The cooking brown sugar, not the raw sugar.
Oh, the one that's got molasses. So what do we have in this one? We've got sugar inside the ingredients of this one. Has anyone used this Safari biltong spice? I didn't go too, advanced with the flavour. I was going for something pretty standard. No, I even had the idea of do we send some out to, someone from the channel so they can actually taste it? But
that's really tricky, posting it in the mail.
Yeah, but that's why dried meats are a good idea.
Tom, do we still have the baby camel in the yards?
She is...
No, Camille. Well, I guess technically we've got her, but she's not here at the station. Camille is down
At Clare Downs.
at Clare Downs, down on the farm 1,000 kilometres away. She thinks she's a cow. So she's down there in the pasture paddock. So it's 8 degrees Celsius at 10:05 p.m.
Ah, that's Mark?
Yes. We've actually got, our weather is absolutely beautiful at the moment. We're sitting at around 28 degree days with nights that are nice and cool. Not cold enough for a fire, but cool. But the biggest downside we've got at the moment is we
Bloody
have
flies.
so many flies. Yeah, just can't get past the flies. Sorry, Jeff, it looks like it is only WA people that can sign the petition, but thank you for thinking and thank you for trying and thank you for sharing it with your WA friends.
Yeah, the petition's over now. It was the largest ever petition in Western Australian history. Unfortunately, our gracious Premier, and I will release a statement later on about this, has got a little bit of a tendency to discount e-petitions, saying that, it's just an e-petition, it doesn't really count. But we are living in a day and age where they are trying to push upon all Australians this digital identity. We had to have the MyGov identity to be allowed to go to shops, to pubs, to all of this. So they should be able to trust a electronic petition.
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah, but, if it doesn't suit their agenda...
Well, let's just hope lessons learned.
Yeah, the lessons have been learnt
Yeah.
by the people who vote that you shouldn't ever...
So will PP? Yeah, we tend to agree with you. Different countries and cultures eat different meat. Like you said, French love the horse, but the UK won't eat horse. I don't really reckon Australia would eat horse either. Australia thinks horse is only good enough for
Racing?
pet meat.
Ah,
In consumption, what we're talking about is consumption.
yeah. Well, most of our breeds, and so there is actually a different breed of horse for meat. Australians would argue that we successfully did that, and that's called a cow. A horse is an under-evolved cow, so... I'd say that it's we've got a bit of a bad PR, and the MLA would probably really disagree with us promoting camel meat. Because they'd be like, no, we can't, say that there's another meat out there that's healthier for you, that's free range, organic and pest free. They would not like that.
No. Dana, a lot of people didn't know that Australia had wild camels. As an interesting fact for you, we have the largest population of wild camels in the world here in Australia.
Because Australia is about freedom.
So not only do people not know we've got them, we've got the largest wild population of them. So that's a pretty cool little factoid there. We've just got to get a few bits of mulga there.
Ooh, it's going to be tricky. It's not the tricky bits, getting the mulga off. No, it's the...
Yeah, getting this thin, not too much.
Well, not going too thin on that. And then following this up the muscle group. I'm looking at it.
A bit more mulga and stuff in here and some hair. So we've got to trim, but not go crazy trimming. We're going to have some happy dogs tonight. Can we read Harry Potter to us American followers? Is it just the Australian accent you're after?
Read some Harry Potter.
Yeah, read Harry Potter to us American followers. I guess it's the accent that they're after.
Which book? Actually, yeah, I'll wait till they've done that because I'm going to take a moment here. But I am curious because I want to read it because I'm worse at reading than you are. Do we have to do the voices? Give us a book, a chapter, and a page.
Okay, there you go, Dana. Challenge: a book, a chapter, and a page.
Yeah.
Camels, horses, rabbits, cane toads. Yeah, they have only been in Australia for a short period of time. Really, it's only been since, well, of course, colonisation. They haven't been here for very long at all. Australia is such a baby nation. We are really young. Yeah, Jeff, Danny.
Read the question, and then because it doesn't come back in the live.
It doesn't come back on the
Oh,
live.
goodness.
My apologies. Yes, you love the way Danny started chatting on the videos. Yeah, like we said to a lot of people, they wanted him talking a lot earlier on, but we can't force someone to be comfortable on a camera. And then he wasn't really. What we got out of him was from a lot of time and effort.
Oh, I think the best thing is like the amount of like off-camera stuff that Danny says, and then you're like, oh, that would like.
Yeah, because he knew when the camera was off, and that's when he would. Yeah. Tallulah, don't cut off the fat. It gives the biltong flavour. We're trying not to, but
it's the paddywhack in here, so I'm not trying to take the fat off. It's the really hard sinewy bits on the muscle that are down along there. It's a little tricky.
And we're also trying, because we have to trim it, because we, butchering it out in the field, just laid it down on mulga bush or some of the skin of the camel that we had cut off. So
would it work if we turned that into biltong? Like we just cut it across with the grain on here, and then we just effectively turn them into giant.
Yeah, but I don't want the whole thing. I'd like to eat some steak for dinner tonight. But we only need 2 steaks out of it.
Yeah. Opinions on that. Right.
Cry back a few bags, yeah.
So we don't have any wild pigs in Western Australia. No, I'm just not in the right area for them. There are bucket loads of wild pigs. No, north and on the west coast, down the south, Boyup Brook, all through there.
Oh, yeah.
Think about Ethan. How many he
Oh, that's a
knocks
very
over?
valid point. Yeah, but north, up where there's a lot more rainfall.
Near the Murchison, up the Avon. So the Avon is sort of is around Perth. You just go a little bit up, over the escarpment, and you're up in Northam.
I think that's what you've said for quite a while. The only large feral animal that we don't have here is the pig.
Yeah.
Or goat, thankfully.
Well, they're not very large. They're small.
No, they are small, but yeah, we don't have pigs.
And pigs taste better than goats.
Pigs taste way better than goats.
Yeah. So no, and that's actually something when discussing with a whole lot of people about our access to firearms, I've always said, please, it is not just us to think about. There are a whole load of people operating the Murchison. There are a whole load of farmers in the wheat belt, so around Geraldton area, and south of Perth. One of my mates, he's on Instagram as ZeroDark30.
Out there.
And he does a whole load of pig control for farmers. And one of the things he's pointed out to me is, when we're thinking about pest control and taking out kangaroos in crops, the pigs will also eat the kangaroos that we shoot. So, when you shoot your roos, if you drag them into piles, that can actually become pig bait, and it's something that you need to be aware of, is that the pigs will come in for that, as well as destroying all your grain, as a lot of people who watch Nathan and Jacob will know that over east there's a lot of pigs, but it's because there's not many here in WA who are showing the pest control stuff, and we don't show it a lot here because there's a little bit of a fear about having our access to the tools denied us. And, if you draw attention to it, you put a target on your back, as I've found out by showing the truth. Right. Deer. Yeah, we don't have deer up here at the station, but we do have them down at the farm. Yeah, and I actually haven't ever shot a deer. I'm kind of keen when, like, the boys always say when I'm down south, and this is some of my mates who also do camel control, as well as feral dog and everything, have said, oh yeah, we should go out sometime and actually get a deer, because the best thing about it is usually when the lads are doing deer control, they will take all of the meat because it's something that we can do quickly and easily. Try keeping the size. Sorry, Albert DeVry. No prizes for guessing which continent he's from. Thank you very much. That's a good cut for the first biltong. Try keeping the size uniform, 4 centimetres by 2 centimetres, 10 to 20 centimetres long, and then hang it for 3 to 4 days under a normal fan. And what I'd do is, our meat room actually has a reasonable humidity, and we can just hang it out in there. Liam said deer meat is amazing. Yes, we've only recently finished all of our venison.
We had 2 or 3 boxes of it or something.
A good number of boxes. We need to go to Albany again.
We do need to go to Albany again.
And one of the reasons why I found the venison really good is you can effectively treat it much like lamb, but always make sure you cook it like a lot less. And I, unfortunately, in my age, am finding that I am a little bit more sensitive to my super fatty lamb chops, which I really love, and I probably should have abused a lot less. So the venison is really nice and lean.
Okay, so what I was thinking was I'm just now trying to trim just the top layer of dry off. And then that's kind of our chunk there that we start to season.
Which book do you reckon would be better, Order of the Phoenix or Half-Blood Prince?
I mean, you're not reading the whole story, Jack. I don't think it really matters.
I know. And my ones are gone.
Also, you know, Jack, you keep drilling into me about this OnlyFans thing. You know, here's your little...
What? Jack reads Harry Potter.
Well,
We'd run into royalties issues there.
people could pay money for that. Why would we run into royalties issues?
The one that would be good is book 4.
It'll be there. They're all there.
Well, I can't see it.
Do you know which one book 4 is?
It's the Triwizard Tournament, isn't it? Goblet of Fire.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you are. Ah, it's your one, not mine. No, this looks like mine because it's held together with fibre tape.
That's mine.
Okay.
It's got my name in the front of it.
Yep, so mine was a hardcover.
Whew. Okie dokie. Do we dry the camel meat for dog treats? No.
They just get it fresh.
They just get it. I just threw a bowl of offcuts out there to the dogs just then. They just get it fresh. We don't go to that effort for the dogs, really. We don't need to preserve the meat to be able to give it to the dogs.
How many times did you read this?
A lot. That's why it's held together with tape.
I remember I got it, and the night it came out, I just stayed up all night and read the whole thing.
Will PP, it's got to be hard to make a living from raising cattle in our country with the shortage of water.
Actually, no. The real trouble is government molestation of agriculture.
Oh my God. Water shortage, we don't really have much concern with that because we've got a lot of underground water.
Up on top, like as in rainfall, is a problem.
Yes, that's the problem. And the reason that then is the problem is because it doesn't, of course, stimulate feed growth. And then, the camels destroying the cattle, trying to read that.
Well,
bloody
also,
love the cattle pens.
Starlink dropped out.
Starlink dropped out. It's the competition for the food. That's the bit that a lot of people, Camel Toe Jack, OnlyFans. See, I want it too. Thanks, Aussie mate. It's the competition for food. because we don't have the rainfall that doesn't stimulate the growth of the food, and you've got more animals eating it that you can't make a profit out of. So,
Well, but we could try and stimulate the economy. If we were allowed to extract the water for, growing crop or, feed and fodder up here, it would make a lot of difference. Because there is a stupid amount of water underground here. And unless you're a mining company or Chinese trying to grow cotton, I'm going to get banned for saying that. Anyway, because they didn't give us a book or a page or a chapter to read from.
this is the segue.
It's a good way to move away from me getting banned on different platforms for criticising, governments and that sort of thing. Right. I don't want anything with Rita Skeeter. That was some really poorly written stuff.
Now, I reckon this is good to go now. You're going to be too far.
Yep, that's the World Cup. Dark Park. What other bits were good in this?
Just pick a page. That is a chunk. Oh no, that's bad. That's good. Yeah, we do have both horses and donkeys. In fact, Jack's dad Tim saw some donkeys yesterday, day before, when he was flying. So yes, we do have both. The only advantage of horses and donkeys is that they are territorial, whereas camels are nomadic. So the camels keep on coming, whereas once we had dealt with the horses, we don't really see very many anymore at all.
Well, because I've been listening to so many audiobooks, I'm so unsure if I should try and do the voices. So, okay, it's a good page. We'll just see how it goes.
He's overthinking it now.
Harry thought of Sirius, and the tight, tense knot in his chest seemed to ease slightly. He would be speaking to him in just over 12 hours, for tonight was the night that they were meeting at the common room fire, assuming nothing went wrong, as everything else had done lately. "Look, it's Hagrid," said Hermione. The back of Hagrid's enormous, shaggy head, he had mercifully abandoned his bunches, emerged over the crowd. Harry wondered why he hadn't spotted him at once, as Hagrid was so large. But standing up carefully, he saw that Hagrid had been leaning low talking to Professor Moody. Hagrid had his usual enormous tankard in front of him, but Moody was drinking from his hip flask. Madame Rosmerta, the pretty landlady, didn't seem to think much of this. She was looking askance at Moody as she collected glasses from the tables around them. Perhaps she thought it was an insult to her mould maid, but Harry knew better. Moody had told them all during their last Defensive Against the Dark Arts lesson that he preferred to prepare his own food and drink at all times, as it was so easy for dark wizards to poison an unattended cup. Now,
how much harder is it to read out loud than it is to read in your head? You stumble when you read it out loud.
Actually, the best one is Hermione, because until they actually made a movie, I thought it was Hermione.
Hermione?
So every time I read it, it was Hermione.
I can see that. No, I can't. Not Harry.
No, I just didn't focus on the middle. I was looking at the start and the finish. So it was Hermione.
Hermione.
And I was like, who the hell would call their child Hermione? It's like Jeremine and Hera.
Who would call their child
Draco is a pretty good name.
Yes.
Rosmerta is a pretty, that sounds like Omerta, like Lamb of God. Right.
Andrew Webb. Yeah, you thought we had the freedom to speak unless it was inflammatory? We have a lot of people who comment and say, why are you deleting my comments? Why aren't you responding to me?
No, one of the best was one of our comments.
One of my comments, yes.
Yeah,
one of
got
ours
deleted.
got deleted. there is so many comments of people that people make on YouTube that we do not see.
And even if we go into the whole, like, these have been deleted for your protection or hidden, they aren't even there unless we go onto incognito and then go in. And we found that there was like a thread that had over 2,000 comments.
And we couldn't see them.
Any of them.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even know the first comment that started it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's not up to us to apologise, I guess, for those comments not being seen or responded to, but there is just so many that we don't see, and we only can assume that it's because YouTube censors them.
Yeah. Maybe it's sort of like anything that they see is inciting, you know, a movement against a radical left-wing government. Could be.
Yes. And yeah, coming in partway through a live stream and getting OnlyFans and camels, that's really, we're on a roll.
It's a way to not get banned.
Yes, we're not good. Aussie McG, we haven't sold cattle lately. The price has dropped and we're lucky to have a good body of feed this season.
That's pretty much our...
That's where we're at too.
Exact thing. Like, down at the farm, we are sort of in a bit of a pickle.
I think we're ready to...
start the next part of the process.
Yes.
So we, from the comment earlier, we can actually cut the long strips slightly shorter.
Yes. Oh, God, I walked away for 3 seconds.
Right. Let's stab it like a radical.
Joshua Stubbs. Apparently my granddad knows you personally as he was a station worker when he was younger.
Everyone can't hear it, but our dogs are fighting outside.
We have only owned Prenty Downs since 2015. So if he's worked here since 2015, then potentially.
Joshua Stubbs.
But yeah, unless he worked on our farm, if that's what you're meaning, is our farm. Not from Prenty, but from the general area. Yeah, look, he might have worked down in the Esperance area, but we have only been up in this region since 2015. So if you're meaning like when he was younger as being a few decades ago, that's definitely not us up here. Yeah, and I just answered your question there, Michael. How long have you been at the station? We bought the lease in 2015. Yeah, Aussie Mick, I think you're right. Keywords are flagged by YouTube and automatically deleted. And I also think, yeah,
sometimes
phrases and stuff as well. Like
some of the stuff in terms of like our content has been limited in how many people actually see it, especially if I've criticised a particular government.
Yeah.
Which was really, I genuinely, and this was all just before everything kicked off about, you know, Australia trying to censor Twitter, that I was like, hang on a second, my stuff's being...
Yeah, sorry, Michael, I did misread that and misunderstood. How long has Jack been back? Oh, last night. I mean, if you really want to get into it, you got home...
At 18:40.
You got home at 7 o'clock last night, 7 p.m, but he did go away, yeah. In a roundabout way, he was home last week for 3 days and then left again to go to Sydney and then he's come back again. So
Yeah, it's just sometimes the life of fame is too much.
sometimes the life of fame. But now he's home for a while, so...
Yeah, until I go over to Queensland to speak at the Grower Group conference. That'll be really nice.
Well, no, the next time we leave is when we go on our holiday.
Oh, yep.
That's before that, because the Grower Group's in July, isn't it?
Oh, yes, yeah. So it's Darwin and then it's the Grower Group.
Yes.
Right, so that'll be good. So anyone in Queensland who's going to be going to the Grow Q event, that'll be really cool to see you. Hopefully I'm going to line that up that I can go and speak at that. The other thing is, while we're in Darwin, hey Grant, I haven't broached this subject with you, but meet and greet at one of my favourite gun stores. That could be fun.
Yeah. Craig, yeah, it perplexes us too. Some of the stuff that we say gets censored, but then there's...
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
There's some really unsavoury stuff that you can find on there, and you wonder how that gets past it. So
Well, it's just like
don't
how I
know.
got banned on TikTok for my own videos when someone was copying my content, and
Well, and it wasn't.
that was okay.
And then there was stuff from.
Oh, when I was talking about Harold Holt and like drowning.
Yeah, you were talking about conspiracy theories, and yet there is Russia and Ukraine stuff all over it, and that was
Hey,
all
look,
okay.
you're okay to watch a drone fly over and drop a hand grenade on some poor bastard in a trench, but God forbid you talk about aliens. Wow, that is a lot of like sinew through that. Maybe we will see how we go on the next strip. So I've been told by some South Africans that this cut we would refer to as a rub strong.
Quiet, remember? Grant, oh, he's here. Yes, we'll organise it.
Yeah, no, it'd be like when you did the one with the what was it with the thermal imagery, the thermal optic company. That'd be great.
Joshua Stubbs, is there a place I can buy your jerky from? No, we do not sell our. This is only for our own consumption. We are not licensed to sell any products. Obviously we're licensed to sell our cattle, but they're going away live. We are not licensed to prepare and then on-sell meat. So no, we are not. And that would be another full-time job. This is just for our own personal consumption. Kane, when are we up in Darwin? We are up in Darwin for a family holiday, so I'm going to make sure that is because we are there for a family holiday mid-June.
Mommy, I find my makeup. I couldn't find it. What?
Is that your makeup over there? Yeah.
It was being silly.
It is being silly. Yes, I mean, we could easily fill Jack's time with meeting everyone and going here and there and everywhere and having a bit of fun, but we are up there for a family holiday, so
I mean, it'll be nice.
it will be nice.
Oh, she's about to put her can paint on.
No, you're okay. You keep going.
Remember, make light areas dark, dark areas light. Break up the pattern of your face.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't want to recognise it as a face.
No, we're just onto thick, like, trowel to get it off layering here.
Oh, so like an 18-year-old in Northbridge.
Do you need help there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? Why don't you go from that end? Be much easier. Right, so our rub.
Mom, look at the size of it.
Right.
Already
What?
forgot.
How could I, like, been away for a while, my dear.
Pink one go, Mom.
Yeah, the pink one's there.
Right.
Mom, where do a pink one go?
The pink one, it might be for lips.
Yeah.
For lips. Kane Dalton, great time to visit Darwin.
We got some.
Okay, Lyra,
okay.
we're in the middle of a conversation, Missy. Do you want
You
to take it down to your little...
just got to be quiet, sweetie. Yeah, we're really looking forward to going up to Darwin. We're doing the drive. We've got a 3-day drive up and a 3-day drive back.
We'll be able to do live streams the whole way along, you know? We're going to have our Starlink on the roof. Thank you very much to Cowfish Technologies.
Yeah,
Or
and
is
look,
that going in Mum and Dad's?
no, that's going in your mum and dad's, but ours is thanks to
Air Vision,
is it? Yeah, Air
And
Vision on the top
EcoFlow?
and EcoFlow. Yeah,
depending on how we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see why people use the vinegar, because that's all that dried stuff.
oh, it softened it.
Softened it right up.
But yeah, we're looking forward to going up to Darwin. We've talked about doing this drive for a long time, and with all the rain that
Through
both
the
the
middle,
territory and WA has had, it's going to be fantastic and green and lush. Yes, so
Mom, why is they put in a meat in there?
make sure, thanks Mup Dog, make sure you stop at Daily Waters.
Oh, yeah, Daly Waters. Yeah.
Where's Daily Waters?
Well, it's on our way.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. If it's on the way,
Yeah.
we are doing like 3,000 kilometres
Yeah.
to get up. We're kind of trying to do 1,000 k's a day.
That's kind of like easy
No,
to
it's
do.
it's achievable, but it doesn't give us a lot of time for sightseeing along the way. Albert de Vries, I know Jack's spoken about wholesale butchers' shops in the past and then picking up the 70-ish carcasses.
One go.
Those are for eyes, I'm pretty sure. Has there been any other conversations with other butchers in SA? We also do some springbok culling, and butchers sell the meat commercially.
Oh, yeah. So
Look at
over like your side, you're, you know, I'm going to say that Africa has got a sense and a level of pragmatism that Australia has lost. You know, everyone here is a little bit out of touch with reality of where your food comes from, how we can actually treat it and still survive. Yeah, and this was a conversation I was having with some, other South Africans the other day about how Australia sort of reacts a little bit too much to so much of what goes on in terms of like, oh, your meat's got to get, reduced by this temperature at this time, and it's got to go through like this pure cold chain system. Because when we're doing the camels, for pet meat, it has to be harvested immediately after death. Like we have to harvest it on the spot right away. We can't use that for human consumption. Human consumption camel has to be done in an abattoir that's registered and certified and inspected monthly. So that just throws it completely out of the realm of working out here where, we are so remote. No one wants to live out here. And, we can't get it going. Although there is that slight possibility of it being positive with the designated Australian migration area.
Yeah.
That would open the possibility for us to get some Filipino butchers up to work out here.
Which would be pretty cool.
It would be really good.
Aussie Mick G said, click like, please, people. From what I can see at the moment, we've got 140 people watching and 0 likes. It does help. It helps to push the videos that bit further, which helps us to be enticed to keep making more, I guess.
Right, how heavy do we go on with the spice? Do we want to do it on
No idea.
less is more. And then it's going to sit in the fridge. So
$54 likes your end. Good job, slave labour. She's doing her own makeup over here.
she's an aspiring YouTuber.
An aspiring YouTuber. Ooh. We're going for less is not more. Albert has said.
All right, so
as a South African, maybe.
I'm gonna, because there's nothing like nowhere here have I ever come across biltong that has been as good as down in what?
That shop in Kalgoorlie.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No.
Oh, because they're,
The stuff.
they're South African.
No. All right. Anyone from Zimbabwe, anyone from Harare, the Borrowdale markets or Borrowdale region, and you had the shopping centre, and then there was the cricket club, and there was a really good butcher in the car park.
I
And
thought you were talking about an Australian.
they no longer, back in 2010, the butcher had closed up and wasn't doing the meat anymore.
Are you watching yourself?
That was really disappointing. But
Oh, not.
that is where the best biltong I'd ever had was. First time I had donkey was actually a type of biltong.
Just be careful. You got the knife sitting in there from.
This knife?
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you're covering the blade up with the bits of meat.
Just like that dude in...
I am not a Jack. Lord, I am not doing a hospital trip.
No, we've got suture kit. It's good content. Content's content.
You make yourself one of those memes of the twit that bloody cuts themselves doing something stupid. You're so beautiful.
All right, so we bomb the spice up.
That is a very fragrant one, so I would be concerned.
No, but then when we hang it, it's gonna.
Yeah.
Right. So next tray of meat.
Next tray of meat.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay away from the internet world, Aussie, Mick, when their father's all over it.
Yeah, it's just like the Verity out the back video. That was great.
It was great.
So Verity was walking around with Jasmine's phone going, oh yeah, I'm Verity out the back. This is, you know, my swing set. This is, you know, all of this. And then Isabel was swinging and on the backswing clocked Verity in the head and it was gold.
It was gold. It was all caught on camera and she instantly blamed her sister and it was all her fault and it's hilarious. Yeah, Liam, a bit of tape and she'll be right. That's pretty much the way it rolls around here. Billy Bob, do we need any labourers? No, we don't at the moment. You know, we're going on a holiday soon because this is our quiet time. So we don't need any labourers at the moment. We are...
Although I'm really tempted to, like, because we're going to roll out the next Wi-Fi section, just be like, well, anyone wants to play with Wi-Fi.
But yeah, that needs to be the
mission. It's kind of like this is the time when we would prefer tourists, but then tourists don't prefer to be here.
No. Michael, is Danny still on the station? No, Danny has gone back home. He's not with us anymore.
No, he's back up home.
Don't forget you are doing that Killer the Savo.
No, I'm watching Dad and Tony do the Killer the Savo.
Did this go on their teeth?
Yeah, that can go on your cheeks. Right, so next bit. This is the closest I've got now.
That's good enough. Ooh.
Wow, what is that called?
That's seasoning.
There goes on me.
Yep, seasoning on the
All right,
meat.
so you say seasoning, and then I'm just like, in my head, I've got all the leaves are brown, and the sky is grey.
Is solar power an option to make extra cash?
Oh hell, no, we're not near a grid. Like we can't. Like
Yeah, so sorry, Teflon, that was your question. Is solar, I'm assuming you mean, is solar power an option to make extra cash? And no, we're nowhere near a grid.
Yeah.
We're completely off
No.
grid.
we are so carbon neutral that we are carbon positive, or photosynthesis positive, environment positive,
Yeah. Claudio, who's
not
replacing
HIV positive.
Claudio, who's replacing Danny? No, we are not in the market of looking for someone at the moment.
In a surprising turn of events, it's Ant. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, we're enjoying a little bit of downtime with not having a staff member at the moment. So, yeah, no one's replacing Danny, but don't worry, guys, when the replacement does show up, I'm sure they will be on camera. Eric, how much honey are you getting from the hive?
Oh, I have not looked. I am sorry. Oh, did we even air that video?
I don't know.
When we got the flow
I
hive
don't
and
think
our
we've
other
aired that
hive
yet.
absconded?
No, we haven't put that up yet. So we've got a video updating that. But essentially, Eric, we were quite poor beekeepers and we caused ourselves a bit of trouble. So we haven't had a lot of honey in quite a while.
Also, that's like the entry level Jasmine's OnlyFans video because you got angry at me because I filmed you getting out of your bee suit and you're just wearing lingerie.
I was not wearing. I was wearing.
My memory might be a little bit different to. Well, I might be seeing what I want to see after not seeing you for a week. Nothing wrong with that. You know, husband appreciating his wife.
No, nothing wrong with that. Claudio, are you keeping in touch with Ant? Yes, Ant is Jack's dad's cousin. So we do keep in contact.
Ant is family.
Ant is family. We do keep in contact with Ant.
And Pom. Well,
Yeah, if people
Pom's not
remember-
family, but Pom's
no.
Pom.
Yeah, if people remember Pom.
And also, I've got to respond to that email.
Question for you, Jack. Have you tried ostrich biltong?
Oh, yes, I have. No, this really goes back to, you know, over in the southern part of that continent. Yeah, I've always run with the idea of, like, I've got to try and eat anything and everything. Like, why wouldn't I? So when there's an opportunity to try something different, I will take it because I'm not going to use the 2020 word. We're in 2018. I don't know. Yeah, you can't knock it till you try it. Now, I wouldn't remember how it tasted to be able to do a comparison between ostrich and emu. But we could always make emu biltong. But I really wouldn't go out of my way.
No, I'm not
Like
gonna go
emu
out
is
of my
not
way.
high on my list of things that I...
Enjoy eating.
No, it's kind of like, you know, you look at it now and you go, if camels were native to Australia, they would have been extinct by the time Europeans got here because they taste better than roux. Okay, so
That's the biltong done.
one lucky viewer will get some meat sent to them.
Will they? No, we just said we can't.
No, we can't sell it.
Oh my gosh, Jack.
If we
I do
ziplocked
not
it.
condone this.
If we ziplocked it, and then it can be a rate my biltong.
Right, oh my gosh. Jack, what's the difference between biltong and jerky?
The difference between biltong and jerky is biltong's better. So
I believe it's the preparation, isn't it?
it is all to do with the preparation. So biltong is air cured meat. And so it's dried and it's all done on air. So we're not adding any extra heat to the system. Jerky generally involves a whole load of sugar, syrups, a bit of a marinade that we would, instead of having it sort of resting as it is in a cool environment, we would be slathering it up in all of our smoky barbecue sauce and other flavours. And then
Oh, that's the
we
problem.
would
isn't
be
it?
doing it in the oven at a higher temperature. So effectively a hairdryer blowing onto the meat. The jerky also, you can use it with the Americans call ground beef.
Yeah.
And so you basically get, say, this shoulder and you pulverise it and then you reconstitute it like a muesli bar. I don't know what other countries would call a muesli bar.
Granola bar.
Granola bar.
It would be the
I thought
only
a
other.
granola bar was just like a healthy muesli bar.
I was just spitballing on what other people might know it as.
Yeah, and then that is then dried, and it's usually quite sweet and sticky and all those sorts of things. So, you know, biltong lets you really know that you're eating something. So if you do it as long sticks or stokies, you can feel the sinew and you're tearing at it and you're getting into your meat a lot more. Whereas a jerky is sort of like but I call it a pensioner's biltong. You know, you don't actually have to chew, you don't have to work for it, so you could do it with your false teeth. Yeah, jerky is a pensioner's biltong. I'm going to get some hate there.
Do you want to show people how much seasoning you put on? Go close with the... Hopefully it doesn't flip out on us. I was going to bring the meat to the camera rather than the camera to the meat, but
well.
you know, that's fine too.
I broke it away.
Oh, we can't fix that one, love. That's broken now.
They put it to there.
Right. Alright, do we need more seasoning on this or not? Is the question. Now, when I dry my biltong, I would kind of almost just leave it like that on racks. We've done liver treats for dogs before. One of my concerns with liver from out here is that it could be a little bit too high and like punch for the livestock, like our dogs. And if an animal had accidentally eaten something nasty, it would end up in their liver.
So, are we going to cut this into steaks? My vote is steaks.
We can stay. Actually, how about we flip it around this way? Got the other blade. We need to get right in there. America might just have been colonised by the wrong people.
Same people as our country.
No, it was mainly the Europeans, not the English.
Not your typical gypsy. Could you do guided camel hunts for extra income? We are not licensed for that.
More seasoning. Sorry.
So no. Also, that would be a full-time job for someone. And we've got full-time work cut out for us just running the station.
I mean, hell, if I want to run for politics, I definitely
So, no, we are not doing guided hunts of camel.
Also, there's a bit of an issue legally for that.
Yes.
It being in Western Australia, it's actually illegal to do guided hunts. So that's
Yeah, and it's just tourism's just not something we are interested in getting ourselves licensed.
Also, there's a fair amount of, I'm going to say, capital expenditure.
Oh, a huge amount of capital
But
expenditure.
our accommodation isn't great. In a way, I'm embarrassed about.
Yeah, isn't great is a bit nice. Our accommodation is rough.
No, it's beyond rough. It's aged.
And yeah, we would have to have another full-time person just doing either the guided hunts or the station. I'm probably quite correct in saying that most people, if they get the guided hunts, they want Jack. But Jack is the station.
And we need to, invest in improving a whole load of our infrastructure.
Absolutely,
Like,
a whole load.
we're talking a few $100,000 in making sure that we've got good accommodation.
Yeah. So back to the main question, people.
Although, hang on. Zach, I'm sorry. Please note that most of the things that we say is in jest.
No, not on the
And
chopping board.
we're going for a little bit of sport there. So, yes.
Yes, Eric, insurance costs would just be astronomical. Insurance would be astronomical.
It already is.
It's insane. Yeah, our insurance already is huge. Yeah, absolutely, Albert. We're always open to learning more.
But where you live?
Does Defence look at utilising your land for training from Kellogus? I'm not sure. Keeping in mind, not every part of Australia is owned by someone. There's a whole lot of unmanaged Crown land out there. So for all we know, there could be a whole pile of Defence personnel out in those areas doing their stuff out there. But I guess as a standard citizen, we wouldn't really know.
A very interesting question.
Does the Defence personnel use our land for training? So there's a whole pile of Crown land out there. For all we know, they could be out there doing it, but...
No, the Defence Force would have to make comment on that, and I'd suggest that they ask the Defence Force if they...
Like I said, we don't know. We don't know.
No, it's... there's unmanaged Crown land, and
There's a whole pile.
areas of training that the Defence are allowed to utilise.
Microphone might be a bit crackly all of a sudden. Claudio, how many acres is the station and approximately how many head are you running? And people still haven't answered. Am I cutting this up a steak or are we roasting it? I wanted a steak.
So for the area, 1 million, and cattle...
1 million acres or hectares?
Well, she asked in acres.
I did ask in acres.
Also, I was fairly sure that Claudia was the one that, one, requested a Harry Potter readout, and two...
No, and I think Claudio's a dude.
Oh, Claudio. Oh, I thought Claudia might have been the Harry Potter request.
No, it was like Dana or something.
Dana? Well, it's got in it.
Oh my god, that's like getting confused with Jack and Jason and claiming they've both got Jack at the start.
They do.
Oh my god. Zach, how could you send us a care package with jerky seasoning? Our address is just our station, essentially. But if you send an email or check on our website,
Yeah, it's like
It'll be on there.
one Prenty Downs road.
or just, yeah.
Thanks, Zach. No, it's one of the easiest things, and I quite often joke with my mates is, the easiest thing to do is to take offence to something.
Yes.
And we might have a little bit too much fun with that. So, yes, no, we do like to poke a little bit of fun out there because controversy creates engagement. And I don't know, I got really insulted for a while when people were calling biltong jerky because they are different.
Why did you get insulted over something so trivial?
It's not trivial.
There's a whole lot of things to get worked up about that you've been called, and yet you're going to just no. Jerky is not biltong. That's
No,
what
that
you
wasn't.
did.
It wasn't in regards to Zach. This is in a whole different, before the YouTube.
Right, cutting this up a steak. Don't.
No, but it's standing out.
Should we play this game?
I'm gonna just tuck that behind you.
Because if we're going for it standing out, there's a whole lot there.
No, because if there's a whole lot of grey, it's together.
Right, let's cut this up a steak. What do you think, steak or roast?
Roast.
Oh, you're definitely incorrect. You can go to Grumpy's then.
You sound like a politician. If the people don't agree with you, you suddenly say that they're incorrect. Right.
Oops.
I'm concerned that if I started to cut now, I would... Right, this one's just going to be a little bit of an even out.
What they cutting me?
I feel like that's going against... that's the wrong... It's the wrong way. Butchers, save us. Alright, this is not going to be in great quality. Let's see how we go. Does this not look a little bit like a silver side or something that we should be
Pickling.
well, cutting in a different... I don't think as a steak that way is going to look good. If you look at the grain, we're going that way.
Would cut it the other way. Just go straight down here.
Ugh.
No? Oh,
No.
Righto.
I'm going to have to hold off on that. I don't want to make it like this. It's pretty... Okay, give it a feel. It's...
You reckon it's too tough? Yeah, that is a thick bit of meat though.
Yeah, but it's...
If you don't want it as steaks, I don't know what it steaks.
But this one got by
Oh, you broke us another one.
All right, that's pretty...
I think some people think you've got some big balls pointing out my grey hair.
My dick will stay.
smaller today than they were last
My
night.
dick will stay here.
Oh my dear.
It was said quiet enough that the microphone wouldn't pick it up. They're not that sensitive.
Yes, they are.
Should we be perhaps looking at this as something that we do in the slow cooker because it's pretty...
Corn meat it. Yep, that's what we call silverside.
yeah, so if we corn it, what do we...
I don't know how. I'd have to Google how corn
Do we
meat
have
it.
to get like, what's the nitrate that you do it with?
Oh, I thought it was just in vinegar, to be fair.
No, it's like a potassium
So we're not prepared for that.
nitrate? Is that the one?
I don't
Or is
know.
that bacon?
I'll have to Google it.
We've got a book on charcuterie.
Has anyone seen my telephone?
No, look at your butcher book. The butcher book, which has every species but camel in it. You're looking very pretty, my girl. Curing salt number 1. Yeah, and that I reckon that's what the sound is breaking up.
Yes, when you mentioned the grey hair. That's him making a giggle. Well, at least I'm pretty sure that's Mup Dog making a giggle because that's the second time he's said it. And it's been when you've made comments that maybe you would get in trouble for.
Or slapped. On this side it's working. Yeah, the brine pump injection. That's in this. Lyra, stop this. Butchering basics. Or is this all sweetbreads and lobster pollet sauce? Sweetbreads. All right, 165. 165. AD, what D?
Water, vinegar, garlic, onion, and some herbs in a pot and simmer low and slow. I don't know, I think it's just vinegar.
2 pairs of sweetbreads.
And brains.
And brains. To be more adventurous. I thought sweetbread was like a pancreas or something.
Well, that's what, your sweetbread is what your dad was calling
The tackle.
the lamb's testicles. Mostly when I talk, it's crackling. That's probably a hack Jack put on it to play games.
No, maybe it's...
Maybe. Right, so there is a lot of static. It's not just when you're making little quips.
So, okay. Is it just Jasmine's microphone?
You're doing that, are you? You have a lot of stuff on your eyelids. Sweetbreads are brains and offals. Well, this recipe, Samantha, is saying to use brains and sweetbreads.
Well, camel brains are small. No, I reckon this isn't the book with the...
Both microphones.
Both microphones. All right. Okay, one moment for technical difficulties. All right. Let's just do another check. Yeah, prairie oysters. Yeah.
So are we going to pick... You were looking up silver siding.
Yeah, and I reckon that this book, The Basic Butchering of Livestock and Game, is not the one. We've got a charcuterie book, the blue one.
What do you want to tell the people?
No.
No?
Don't vote for Labor.
You don't want to tell the people anything?
No.
Oh.
I'm going this worth of tell that I got it. But I got this new makeup.
I love this. Recipes to accompany charcuterie. Sauces and condiments, not optional.
No, sauce is not optional.
Recipes for salt-cured food. Salt, how the most powerful tool in your kitchen transforms the humble into the sublime.
Ooh.
Sausages, smoked goods, dry-cured.
Lyra, would you vote Labor?
No, I want Labour.
Yeah, we don't want Labor, do we?
No, I want something else in it.
That's a good idea. Something else.
A
in it.
minority party coalition. But also, no, sometimes Labor have good policies. We just can't get hung up on that idea.
Bush oysters is what we've heard them called.
Yep. And yeah, try this. Okay, I don't have it. Maybe it could be in section 29.
Could we just Google with a
Corned
telephone?
beef. Making your own corned beef is especially satisfying because it's so easy and so inexpensive compared to commercial corned beef. It's also a pleasure to have in hand what is an extraordinary transformation of a cheap cut of meat. We love simple braised biscuit like the Belgian stew carbonade, cooked slowly in beer and onions, but to cause the metamorphosis from brisket to delicious corned beef is a different pleasure altogether. It becomes firmer. It takes on the delicious cured flavour, and whilst it's excellent for sandwiches, it can make an elegant main course for a full meal. Served with, say, sautéed blanched cabbage or Brussels sprouts with a mustard vinaigrette and boiled potatoes. When making a meal of it, include an onion and a carrot and other aromatics in your poaching liquid, and then spoon it, strained just like a ewe or a broth over the corned beef. So, the brine, 1 gallon of water.
Maths.
4 litres. 2 cups of salt, 100 grams of sugar, 25 grams of pink salt. Now, pink salt, I'm pretty sure, is actually one of those curing salts. 3 garlic cloves minced, 2 tablespoons of pickling spice, which we've got, 2.25 kilogram of well marbled beef brisket, and more pickling spice.
So no vinegar.
No.
I guess the salt's doing the job.
This is, yeah, wow. Some of these other, I was very fortunate because this is not page 62. This was well and truly, further into it, I randomly opened to this page.
So is it 4 litres, you said?
Yeah, a gallon.
Okay, so this is 2 litres.
So that must be an American gallon.
I might need more
And it
water.
needs to be in a pot that's big enough to,
I'm pretty sure I've got a pot that's big enough.
yeah, which water are you using?
Water?
Yeah, that's fine. Combine all the brine ingredients in a pot large enough to hold the brisket comfortably. Bring to a simmer. Now, I'm pretty sure that we've got more than 2.25 kilos there.
We do. It's close to 5, if not over.
So then we should be doubling it?
So, yeah. Which I think we're going to need to because it won't be submerged with only 4 litres of water.
Get whole peppercorns and poke them in. Ah, yes, wet water, not dry water. Zach, I'm just going to whack in the email for you to contact us. Still looking beautiful there, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Then I close it.
I'm not closing it.
Just trying to move it.
Is it Prenty or is it Prenty Downs at?
Prenty Downs. Oh, we have another on the way. Wow. Are you sure that's not hurting your eyes now?
No.
Yes, Verity, that's a good idea to turn the volume down.
You have so much makeup on your face.
Yeah, I reckon that Mick's got the right answer. You know, I'm calling Mum to ask. But no, if Mum's probably watching this and having a good laugh, and she's only a few hundred metres away, and we might be able to hear her scream if I said, if I ask Mum, we'll end up burning it.
Your poor mother.
Mum can cook to keep you alive. And she could do some amazing meals. But it's always been our family joke that Mum would use the smoke alarm as the cooking timer. Now, Lara, I think you're going a little bit too heavy on the makeup.
Do you want to wipe some off your eyes? I'm really worried about your eyes.
Yeah, your eyes are... Yeah, that's enough, okay?
Okay, baby.
Yeah, your eyes have now gone pink. So let's pack some of these away and you can get your tablet. Yes. Yes, I think that everyone would agree that you need to...
You guys could go play outside with the dogs.
Can we wipe some of this off?
Get a baby wipe, please.
There's some of it on her eyeball.
I know.
How about more off? Where are you? No, come back. You want to remove it?
No, I don't. Keep it down. I don't keep it on.
Yeah, you've still got it on. Have a look in the mirror in the bathroom. Go look in the bathroom.
Andrew, to keep camels away from the pens in the UAE, they put a perimeter of a single strand wire around that they won't duck.
Yeah, and that's our design for a camel-proof fence, is to have a heavy steel cable that the camels won't go under. It just would cost a fair bit of money to do one over a few hundred kilometres.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we've got 40 sets of yards.
Yeah.
So doing it
No,
around...
you would do a full perimeter
No, I know
boundary.
you're talking a full perimeter.
Yeah.
But for people that are curious about doing it just around the pens, or
No, because we need to be able to get to the yards.
yes, we do need to be able to get to the yards, but we have 40 sets of them.
And
so-
also in the UAE, they're not that desperate. Like, because they're an animal that's not a pest or anything, you know, they can get access to water, and they use it as a way of, you know, manipulating the population and migration to get them to an area that you can collect them, which we would be doing by making a few 100-kilometre long, like, camel selective fence, and then aggregate them into an area to either export or kill.
Yeah.
Which seems really simple, and it's actually easier to maintain than the vermin-proof fences 1, 2 and 3 that we've put here in Western Australia. But to quote a politician here in Western Australia, there is no problem with camels. They don't affect us. So why are people complaining about them? And I think the real reason why we are complaining about camels is that more people aren't eating this premium beef, and we are just wasting hundreds of tons a year by dumping them out in the desert. And we want to make sure that people are talking about camels and start realising that we can harvest something that is free range in the desert, because I can tell you that there are other countries around this world that if they were running Australia, they wouldn't have any qualms about making sure that we harvest every single gram of beef of these animals, because the world is hungry. But Australia is too soft. Our country is fed up, fat of saturated bloody fats and easy to get food, disconnected from reality. And life is too easy. People don't struggle enough and do not accept that really we shouldn't have a single person in Australia that's starving, because if just on Prenty alone we're burning 140 tonnes of premium beef, that's a lot of food. That's a lot of people fed. Like if I ate a ton of meat.
Make sure you specify.
Yeah, it's 140 tonnes a year. Like I don't think I could physically consume 1 tonne of food a year.
No, which is what we've talked about quite a lot, is we get a lot of people commenting and saying, oh, and you don't even eat it. As you can see here, we do eat this meat, but we kill on average, let's round down and go 600.
Well, if you look at it, 365 kilos a year.
That's so much meat.
That's too much meat. We only need like 200, 300 grams of meat, like pure protein a day. Like
we even feeding all of us here at Prenty, so let's say our family of 5 plus Jack's mum and dad, so we've got 7 up here, then feeding 3, 4, 5, 6 of them down at the farm. So just feeding our Carmody family, so that's 13 people.
Right, so 140 tonnes is 140,000 kilos. So we divide that by 250 grams. So call that 250. No, so I have to divide that by point 0.250. So 250 grams of bloody steak. So a sirloin steak in a restaurant, 200 to 300 grams. So it's a steak meal a day for someone. That's 560,000. So that's 500,000 meals.
We can't eat that as a family of 13. It's ridiculous. We eat as much as we can eat. We always have camel meat.
Yeah, so 500,000 meals. And let's just divide that by 365 to turn it into meals per day. That's 1,534 meals per day. So that's 1,000 meals per day. That's 1,000 people. And you double their, thing. That's, bloody 800 or 750 people every day with 2 steak meals.
That's a lot of food. That's
off one property.
That's a lot.
It's when you start looking at it that way that you go, we could probably do a lot more for our country and make sure that no one starves again.
What else have I got?
You don't even need to be paying for it when the government's out here spending over $200 per animal to kill them when they do it.
How much pickling spice? What am I doing? We've run out of pepper.
Yep.
But there's pepper in this pickling spice.
You've got some of the cracked pepper,
Yeah,
Mackenzie's.
Yeah, I do.
We are looking at how much pepper or pickling spice?
I'm free-ranging the pepper.
2 tablespoons.
Oh, that's not very much.
And then it also says another 2 tablespoons.
So 4, 8.
I don't understand why it asks for 2 tablespoons twice.
Okay. Pickling spices in, peppers in, water's in.
We probably need to cut that down into about half. Garlic cloves.
Garlic. I don't have cloves. I've just got ground or minced.
Minced. Let's use some Chinese garlic.
Minced?
Yeah.
I think I've got more up there.
Have we run out of our garlic that we grew?
We ran out of the garlic we grew a long time ago.
Oh, hello. It's not nice to see one of you there. No, it'll be fine. I'll find the rest of them. They'll die in the pickling spice. So.
Ew. Oh.
What?
No, I flicked myself.
Mom,
Yes.
why did you put this one sled?
Getting pepper out.
Oh, there they are. All right, there you go. Is it in that? Yep, all right, that's a section of meat we can cut out.
Cool. Where's your sister? Where's Isabel?
Darcy will watch it. Oh, I thought you were meaning Terry, because Terry hates maggots.
Mom, now I've got some makeup of this and it's bigger of it.
All right.
You might need to chop that smaller for the dogs. Do or did the Indigenous hunt camels, Jared T? Well,
Camels were here before they...
Camels were not here until after European settlement came to Australia, so they did not hunt camels pre-settlement. And did they hunt them after? Well, I guess so, yeah, but...
Yeah, like the guys now hunt them.
The guys now hunt them, but most of the preference is still roos and lizards because they're easier.
Harvey! Is Harvey outside still?
Yeah, I think so. Also known as disco rice. Yeah. Don't forget the sugar. Yes, I'm getting to the sugar. I'm getting to it. Getting to it. Getting to it. Who's so beautiful?
Mom, this is buckwheat. That's why it's beautiful.
Right.
This is buckwheat. That's why it's beautiful.
Let's make sure there's no other creepy crawlies.
Why you find keep it cool?
Well, it appears that there was a fly that got into the cool room and decided to lay eggs. The fudging fudges.
On that rainbow.
Is there more?
Well, there's one there sneaking in.
Mom, where do all this go?
Salt. I have not added salt.
No, I want to make it rainbow.
How much salt?
Enough. Alright, that's going to be more than enough.
I have doubled all of the stuff in the pot.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Well,
because that's what we said we were doing. So we'll just cook both of them in there.
alright. Just making sure that there's not any
Yeah, I
other
know.
little whiskies in there. Why does it smell like a grandmother's house when you're doing corned beef? No, it does. Should you trim fat off corned beef?
Mom, somewhere I just get hurt. Because that bullet did hurt it.
Is it?
That my blasted for my eyes.
So place it in the brine.
And then bring to the boil?
No,
Oh.
no, slow down. So put all the brine ingredients in the pot, bring it to the simmer. Then remove it to the heat and allow it to cool until it's completely chilled. Put the meat in and weigh it down with a plate to keep it submerged and refrigerate for 5 days.
Oh. Very old school.
So we've got days of now salt, sugar.
So what are we going to eat for dinner tonight?
That is the question.
Tuna?
What?
So I guess I shouldn't be trimming all of this off.
No, don't trim it all off.
Leave the fat, it adds a flavour. No, fat is flavour. Oh. I didn't read before.
You thought they said trim it off?
No, I just
Started cutting.
started cutting. Sound like a politician at budget time.
God.
There's a bit of fat left there.
You're right there, little kid.
Jeez. Alright. We're going to have some very fat dogs.
All right, I think I've added everything. So now we've got to bring this to a
Boil,
simmer.
let it... Yeah, okay.
And then we put the meat in. And then we put it in the fridge for a few days.
I almost reckon like this we could just leave in the meat room overnight and then hang it. Okay.
Have a yeah, we're definitely going to Uber Eats, Jared. That's my favourite.
Yeah, I think Uber Eats would be spot on. We'll just go back in time a few hours and then... All right.
Look at it.
Stir fry offcuts, all those offcuts. It's an idea.
That would be delicious. There's enough there.
No, our LPG is not delivered. Although I've got my DG and I'm allowed to transport a reasonable amount of gas.
Oops. No, we'd bring it up on the truck ourselves.
And yes, we use Clean Heat, and our local partner is Clark and Stokes. Still waiting for a hat. But also, thank you, Adele.
Turn it up a bit. Yeah, let it settle and then we'll turn it down. We should not be empty. If we're empty, we've got a leak.
It's not empty. It's just being silly.
Maybe it's been knocked off of the dubwacky. Rightio. 4:30. You have a cute little bull to turn into beef meat in half an hour.
Mom, is it a girl or a boy?
A boy, a little bull.
Dad and Tony are going to make sure that that's done properly.
You're going to have to take the firepower.
No, I've got one over there. I've been enjoying a beer or two.
I know.
I, however, will put my political view up.
You can parent, you can feed the kids and get them through the bath and get them ready for bed, and I'll go help with the meat.
Love you. See you later.
Well, that was quick. Rightio, so you got half an hour left to get sorted. So we should probably kill the live stream because
Yeah, and I'm really disappointed now that I went to all the effort of reading out some Harry Potter and no one...
She said well done. Liam
Okay.
also said he's never seen you move so fast.
That's because I usually need to save my energy.
Right, we should probably kill it and you can get ready to go do this killer.
Yep.
And I will get some children's food ready, huh?
Won't we miss?
Yes.
Look at that.
Is it hurting your eyes yet?
No.
Would she say yes if it did hurt her eyes?
I don't know.
Probably.
But she got this like 2 hours ago and look at that.
There's nothing left. There's nothing left.
Let's do
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us on a, not quite cooking with camel, but getting into the biltong and then now doing some corned camel. Yeah, corned camel.
Come on, Camel.
Yep. And just enjoying us being back live, back up here. And I'm hoping to get a few more of the videos. I think we've got a list of 10 videos that we need to actually get around to and edit from the last month, I think it is, plus a little bit from before then.
Yeah, look, we've got a lot of content that's just sitting there. We just haven't had the chance.
So please, I'm really glad no one ever picks us up on continuity and goes, hang on a second, you haven't seen camels for a while. Why are you shooting them now? No, it's just a case of actually getting back to and...
It's just time. Sometimes you shoot them and like you were shooting those camels and then I think we left like a day or so later.
Yeah.
it.
As
Yeah.
well as all the other parts of it, like once I've started using multiple cameras all the time, synchronizing everything, it's a lot of work to get those things together.
It's a lot of work.
So, no, thank you very much everyone for joining us and all your support, like on everything that we're doing in the channel and what we sort of stand for. And we hope to grow as a channel to keep getting people aware of this part of the world and the challenges we face. But it's not just about the challenges, it's about the solutions and the opportunities. Is she calling that a little bugger? Because it's being silly. Right, so before my daughter drops a swear word and offends someone, we are going to disappear and you will see some new videos coming up shortly. And no, we love bringing it to you. We have a lot of fun with it. And yep, Jasmine keeps me in line, making sure that I don't say things I shouldn't.
It doesn't always work.
No, sometimes I sneakily put a video out before you've seen it. So then, yeah, just so everyone else knows, Jasmine's going to be running for Parliament.
I'm not running for Parliament.
Because if she can keep me in line, she can keep the politicians in line.
Well, no, neither of us are going into politics.
We're already in politics, my dear.
Neither of us are running for office.
I think we need to. I think if people like us aren't in politics, we've got dickheads there.
I think we live too far away from the transport system to viably be in politics with young children.
Who better to change the system than those that are excluded by the system? Jack Cumbie 2024.
No! Right, we are going.